live. We're there for you. ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
Welcome to ABC4 News at 10. I'm Courtney Johns. Glenn and Emily have the night off. We begin tonight with over 5,000 flights being canceled across the country today, thanks to all of that weather. But here in Salt Lake City, things are a little more manageable. Let's take a live look right now at the departing flights out of Salt Lake City. That should be up any second now. While we did have a few delays earlier today, at last check on that board tonight is looking pretty smooth. We haven't seen any delays or cancellations on the board for the rest of the night. All right, let's check in with forecaster Bob Bedore. And Bob, it is really nice to just see things calm down a little bit, especially after the past couple of days that we've had lately.
Oh, yeah, we've been following all of that going on FlightAware, and it shows things get a little crazy. But like you said, things have been fairly nice right here at Salt Lake City. We've been one of the bright spots, and that's always good. And it's because we've had very calm weather right now. In fact, taking a look outside our own studios, we are looking at just a little bit of a breeze there on our flag, and temperatures right around 29 degrees, which is always kind of nice. But if we even look at that further and go out to our satellite, well, you can see, well, basically not much going on right now. Just little bits of hits here and here where we've got higher elevations getting a little bit of a light dusting of some snow, maybe some precipitation, and they're participating as well. But things have been a little slower. Let's take a look at that Sunday travel and the impacts that we have there with it, though. You can see green all around Salt Lake and Utah in general, but if we go out, you can see where the big problem is, that northwest. This is where our next storm is going to be coming from. I'll talk about that in my full forecast. But we also have this storm that's been making its way east. The one that we had last week, yeah, it's over there now. But that's where the big impact comes. In fact, if we take a look at the airport departures, you can see so got quite a few places that are in the yellow as we go, and even some reds. But Salt Lake and Portland looking pretty good. So we'll take that. If you're going to be traveling, make sure you call ahead and be sure where you're going to be. Taking a look at our temperatures, you can see from top to bottom, temperatures actually still pretty good. 21 in Garden City. That's not bad at all for this time of night. 36 in Kanab. And our temperatures low, well, they weren't that low. And that's something I'll be talking about in the full forecast as well, as we are raising up. Where we have been below norms, we're going to be above. And a lot of that is because the storm that we had, it's just moving everything toward the east now. Going to keep us nice and dry, and we like that. It's going to be a very good Christmas. So look at those highs. We're going to just love what we've got going on. I'll be following all of that, tell you about what you can expect this weekend and the storm that we've got coming up starting Tuesday of next week. It'll all be my full forecast in just a little bit. Courtney, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. And the Mall of America has lifted its lockdown after a reported shooting. The police department says police and emergency medical crews are on the scene of a reported shooting. Dozens of videos are on social media right now showing shoppers hiding in stores. The Mall of America confirmed the lockdown on its Twitter account and asked shoppers to remain in the closest secure location. As we mentioned, that lockdown has now been lifted, but police are asking people to stay out of the area until further notice. And if a drone,
I think that's important to note, especially when flying a drone in a neighborhood, that could constitute as a trespassing criminal charge and result in a misdemeanor.
All right, and as we were just talking about earlier, if a drone is on your Christmas list, make sure you know the rules in Utah, which may surprise you. Go Verizon compiled a list of state-level drone laws and found Utah had the most state laws along with Oregon and Texas. And while many of Utah's laws are what you'd expect, there are a few you may not realize could get you in a lot of trouble, like using a drone near private property.
I think that's important to note, especially when flying a drone in a neighborhood, that could constitute as a trespassing criminal charge and result in a misdemeanor.
Alexandria Kramer with Go Verizon says she's heard of fines as high as $5,000. Another thing to watch out for in Utah, reckless behavior around wildlife and livestock. Kramer says you should also always check before flying a drone at a national or a state park. She says Utah has at least 4 state parks that do allow drones. And a theater community is saying goodbye to one of its most accessible spaces that once allowed grassroots theater to grow in Salt Lake City. The Box and the Box 2 at the Gateway Mall in downtown Salt Lake City is closing its doors due to an expansion by the Clark Planetarium. The theater space was told they had until Christmas Day to move out all of their set pieces, lighting equipment, and everything that made their theater a place for new plays, Shakespeare, and modern works to come to life. Tonight, the theater is holding a farewell party to remember everything they've achieved.
They made the decision to make it available to other small theater companies who might be in a similar position of being homeless. When they did that, they filled a crucial need that we have here in the Salt Lake theater community.
A new location for the box hasn't been nailed down just yet, but if you'd like to donate to help them secure a new space, you can visit theboxgateway.org. Resource centers for the unsheltered are bringing Christmas early this year. This afternoon, the Rescue Mission of Utah provided warm meals, clothing, and free haircuts. Advocates say not only are the holidays difficult because of the cold weather, but they can also be a reminder of what some people have lost.
But this is not a left ideology, and this is not a right ideology. This is humanitarian. People are dying on the streets. People are cold, and we need to find solutions.
This comes after Mayor Erin Mendenhall confirmed 5 homeless people died in a matter of days because of freezing temperatures. Shortly after this, she announced adding 25 more beds at each resource center. Now to an update in the fraud case involving a reality TV star, Jen Shah. Prosecutors are now asking the Real Housewife of Salt Lake City to spend 10 years in prison for a telemarketing scheme where she scammed hundreds of dollars and hundreds of elderly people as well. The U.S. attorney says Shah is, quote, the most culpable charged in this case, saying the reality star tried to further profit off her schemes by selling Justice for Jen merchandise. Shah pleaded guilty to wire fraud, which can land her anywhere between 11 months and 14 years in prison. Her sentence is set for January 6th. And in other celebrity news tonight, rapper Tory Lanez could spend over 20 years behind bars. The rapper has been convicted on 3 felony charges in the 2020 shooting of hip-hop artist Megan Thee Stallion. It took Los Angeles jurors roughly a day to deliberate. Megan was hit by bullet fragments in her feet after getting out of an SUV she was riding in with that rapper. The counts could lead up to 22 years in prison. And we're taking a look inside a local Mexican restaurant working hard to make tamales for the Christmas rush. Tucked right next to Victor's Tires in Salt Lake City is Victor's Restaurant, known for their tamales. They're made with corn-based dough called masa and filled with savory or sweet ingredients. The owner says December is their busiest month.
It's kind of crazy, maybe sometimes 12, 15 dozens at a time.
So if you want to order tamales for Christmas this year, it's not too late. Victor's is open till 3 on Christmas Eve, and you can order online or by phone. But he does say you should do it sooner rather than later so you can get those flavors that you want. Okay, winter is definitely here in all of its glory, and it's giving people in northern Utah more options for recreation, like ice fishing. This is the Manaway Reservoir. The small reservoir in Box Elder County is covered in a thick sheet of ice. This morning, dozens of small groups set up camp across the entire length of the reservoir. The Greenwell family, they're one of those groups. They say they want to break their record from last year, 30 fish in one day.
I'll brag a little bit. She usually wins, though.
It seems like it's always the youngest that does it.
She's real good at talking crap, too.
The youngest are always troublemakers. Okay, so we don't know if the Greenwells beat their record today, but this morning did start a little slow for them, so they may have to make another trip and try again. Coming up, chaos in central Paris after a shooting rampage this afternoon. We have the details after the break. And a big drop in temperatures could affect your furry loved ones. Hear what you should do to keep them safe this winter.
Looking over Sundance, you can see that they are going to be all set for the skiers going on Christmas Eve. I'll tell you all about what your weather's going to be like coming up in my accurate forecast in just a few minutes.
And remember, what's news to you matters to us. Report breaking news or share your story tips with us. Just contact us on the ABC4 News tip line. You can do that online at abc4.com/tipline or call the number right there on your screen. We'll be right back.